Hey, welcome to a quick tutorial video for the Capstone review. So I'm going to jump into a plan here and just answer these questions. So we've had a set of questions. Some of them have been repeated, recurring questions. So I wanted to answer them. Apparently, these questions, according to a few of the emails I received, were not able to be answered in GroupMe. So I'm going to jump in and get you some answers so that you have time to update and correct your capstone assignment before it's due, which is tomorrow in this case. So here are the questions. The first one has to do with holdings. I will make sure you know where to find holdings and how to change the holdings in your investment accounts. If you don't know how to do that, you'll want to pay attention and watch this video. Number two is budget. Where and how do I add detailed budget items? This obviously is a question from students who have been behind. At this point, if you're asking this question, I'm afraid you are in a bit of trouble, honestly, because the budget is something we've started talking about in the very beginning of the semester. So I'm going to show you where to do that. And hopefully you'll be like, oh, I knew that. Because if you didn't know that, then, well, we should talk. I haven't looked at your plan, the students who asked this question. I haven't looked at your Canvas points, but I'm assuming you're struggling in some other areas if you're asking the question, where do I find the budget? The next one is again similar. If you have a question about where to find your insurance data card in your plan, well, that was a few lessons ago. I'm going to show you where to do that. Finally, a question about budgeting websites, and I am not going to answer this question. I'm going to suggest that, in fact, I'm going to ask you if you'd be so kind to leave a comment and maybe some links in your comment to some websites that you like that have good budgeting apps, budgeting tools. There's a ton of them out there. I like Nerd Wallet. They have some great resources. I would put that on your watch list. Put it on your favorites list, save it in your browser. Another one is mint.com, which is the number one choice for budgeting tools for students in personal finance at the Bauer College of Business at the University of Houston. So I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I'm just going to ask you to leave a comment and tell me with some links maybe where you find the best budgeting tools or apps. So that'll be a fun one for me to watch and see the comments that you leave on this video. So here, let's get started. Holdings, where can you grab the holdings? And then also a question about moving the needle and how much money at the end of the plan. I'll answer that question as well. And then I want to mention this question right quick about the class collaboration. In the capstone assignment, there is no class collaboration requirement, so you're good to go there. And I apologize for not making that more clear early on because I did get several questions about that. So you don't need any class collaboration in this assignment. No screenshots to show me or conversations. So here we go. Let's get started. So first, under holdings, I'm going to show you where it is. So you start off in your dashboard. You can go to investments and you can see holdings right here. You can also see holdings right here, and you can see where the holdings you can change these. So you see how that 60-40 just changed. If I do current allocation, it's 57-43. And if I go to moderate, it changes to 60-40. If I go to aggressive, it changes 80-20. And each of these numbers change along the way. So those are basically holdings. When I change it to most aggressive, you see that U.S. equities, that percentage goes up, and bonds goes down. If I go to preservation, for example, you see that U.S. equities goes down. So this is just preset default portfolios that take the work out of it for you. You don't have to think about, these are preset portfolios that I've built along the way. So this student had it set at moderate. I'm going to leave it there, but that's one place you can see holdings. You can click over here to holdings, but it doesn't do you much good because it doesn't show the actual holdings. This is a manual balance. So these were entered manually. If you would have linked these accounts, if these were real accounts and you're not a student, This is exactly how I asked you to do it, so that's fine, but it is manually entered. So what do I mean by that? Let me jump on over here to profile, and we'll go into investments, and you see all of these accounts that we were just looking at over here in holdings. See, I just went back to investment holdings, and we're seeing these. And if I go to holdings, you'll see these same accounts. Now I'm going to jump on over to the profile and then I'm going to jump into investments, and you see the same accounts. So your plan should be very similar to this. So these were all entered manually. You see that right there, manual entry. So when we go over here to this account, you'll see it's based on a model portfolio. Asset allocation is moderate, and that's what it was. Now, when you started off, it was customized, and this is what it looked like before this student changed the allocation based on a model portfolio. Now, you could, and I would think you would want to use the customized, but when you do the default and customized, it goes to other 100%. So if I save that, now it says customized. Now watch what happens when I jump on over to investment, and I'm going to see the 401k. Let's just see the 401k. Oh, it didn't change it. I guess current allocation. So if I click on current allocation now, because remember, I changed it. I went over here to the 401k account, investments, 401k. I changed it to customized. I used the default. And what happened? It put 100% in other, which basically means it's not even categorized. And that's the way all of you, I would bet most of you who are asking the question at this point, how do I see my holdings? It's because you have customized, which is the default, and it puts everything in other, and that's the default, and that's not allocating your assets at all. Your holdings are basically set up again with 100% under other, which is none of these asset allocations that we discussed in class. So if you wanted to do it the way I said, my simple little way of doing it, you could do 25% large growth. Let's see, do we have small cap? You can do 25% there. You can do 25% international. And you could do, I think we said 25% bonds. So where is bonds? Government bonds. Let's do 25% government bonds. So now it says 175%, which is obviously wrong. It's got 200% allocation because I didn't change that. So now when I save that, this is the 401k, and I hit save, we'll jump back on over into the investment, and we'll hit current allocation. Current allocation, not for all accounts, but for the 401k. See where I'm finding that here? So now I'm under investment, and I'm just looking at the allocation, and the current allocation is now, that's not what we did. Oh, yeah, we did. So this doesn't show small cap here. U.S. equities, if we clicked on that, it doesn't really show, but that includes large cap and small cap. So 50% U.S. equities. It should show small. I might have to change that. I think I can edit that in my system. But at any rate, just a review real quick. Asset allocation, current allocation, that's what we put in this over here in the profile. That's your current allocation is what you put in here. So now I'm going to go back to where the student had it before. He had it on moderate. He just selected the moderate portfolio. I'm going to hit save. I have to hit save again. And now this student's financial plan should be based on the model portfolio. Now it's interesting. I believe this is how the student had this set up before I came in and started messing with the plan. Based on a model portfolio, Okay, remember that's what we did. He had moderate selected. I hit save. I hit save. But when I go to the big plastic bucket, that's an investment account as well. And that one's still sitting there on customized. So this student has not changed or updated or corrected or fixed or entered any asset allocation for that big plastic bucket. Let's see what we did for the tax deductible IRA. It says customized. So again, in this case, the student has not done. So that would be a deduction in the capstone because I'd be looking for asset allocation. And here we go, the same thing here. It's all set for customized. So now I'm just curious. If I go back to investments and I go, let's say big plastic bucket, current allocation is, see, that's not correct. So if you're seeing this, hopefully by now, having done what I've done, you know what it needs to be fixed. I'm not going to repeat it because I just repeated it like 2 times. So if you want to see holdings, that's what we're looking for. And again, you can't see the holdings under holdings. It just shows what's in your accounts. And I'm sorry, but that's just a kind of deceptive. But if you want to see the holdings, you go to profile, go to investment, select the account, and then you make the changes here that you want to make. And if you want to do it the easy way, you're certainly welcome to do this. I'm going to do this student a favor and set that at moderate. So now 2 out of 4 of the accounts that are built into this plan are set correctly in terms of asset allocation. So I'm going to move on now to, you would grab a screenshot of that, obviously. You can easily go back here if you want to grab a screenshot. Grab a screenshot there. That's great. Or if you want to grab a screenshot here based on a model portfolio, you can grab that screenshot. Either one of those will be just fine. So that's that. I've moved the needle a lot, but I still have a lot of money at the end of my plan. So in this case, let's go to dashboard. And this says probability of success 73. Somebody asked, where do we find the value? So if you go to retirement, so this is where you're going to find the ending value of your plan. I don't remember who asked that question, but so that is a question. I have a lot of money at the end of my plan. Okay, where do you find the end of your plan? You go to retirement analysis, and that number right there is how much money you have at the end of your plan. So I'm going to talk about that. Hold on. If I'm able to explain why, will I still have a chance to receive full points? If I am able to explain why I have so much money at the end of my plan, will I still have a chance to receive full points? The answer is yes, if you can explain it. But if you're just clueless and you have $7 million at the end of your plan and you don't tell me why, if you don't do a little research to figure out, okay, where's my money going? Why do I have so much? Just do a little research in your plan and make sure you give me some comments. I said if you have over $5 million at the end of your plan, you need to give me some comments. This student has 7. I wouldn't be too concerned about having $7 million at the end of your plan, as young as you are. However, if that's $7 billion, that's like something's wrong with your plan and you need to fix it. So hopefully that helps. So I have a lot of money at the end of my plan. Okay, this student does. How can you fix that? Well, I would start with looking at expenses, and we're going to get there in just a minute. So that's that. Let's get to budget. Well, first, let's just go to expenses. So if I go to dashboard, you see these are the lower tabs, and you can see budget here. Budgeting tool is only available if you link at least one account with transactions, so that won't work. You're not going to be able to do anything in this if you haven't linked accounts. So dashboard budget is not going to help, but this will help. If you go to profile, savings, or actually expenses. So this is where you can make changes to your expenses. So this question came up a couple of times. Where and how do I add the detailed budget items manually into my plan? So how did we do that? We start at dashboard always. That's where you are. You're going to go to profile, and you're going to go to expenses. So expenses is key in your plan. If you want to know why you have too much money in your plan, it's because monthly expenses of $1,585, dude, that's not much. How much are you making? Let's see, income. So you're saying you make 150 grand a year. Uh, that's a pretty good paycheck, and you're saying you're only spending 1,585 bucks a month. That's goofy. Okay, I mean, it's unrealistic in so many ways. And if you want to fix the excess money you have at the end of your plan, why don't you give yourself some reasonable expenses, and that will fix it. So you want to know, the question was, where and how do I add detailed budget items to my plan? This is where you do it. So this has simple approach. You just put, in this case, the student had 1545. I could hit save. Problem is, I just messed up this student's detailed worksheet, because now whenever you change that to simple approach, it deletes anything that you had. I'm so sorry, I deleted that. So I'm just going to put some numbers in here. 250, bills and utilities 350, charitable giving 100. I know these aren't going to be right, but I'm going to get it to $1,500 just to get it to $1,500. Fees and charges, gifts, we'll say 100. Groceries, that should be like $400, but I'm going to do 250. So I have I haven't done anything for shopping, health and fitness. So obviously that's going to get you close. But now you know the answer to this question: where and how do I add detailed budget items manually into my plan? So this question, what's the difference between invested assets and account summary pages? Where do I find each one? I'm not sure I understand that question. Invested assets, account summary pages. Not sure what you're talking about. Account summary pages, I'm assuming when you go here to net worth, you're going to see account summary pages, or maybe in investment. I'm not sure I understand that question. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Where can I find out how much? Where can I find out how much money is left in my plan? Again, you start in dashboard. When you go to retirement and you go to analysis, you're going to have a percentage. This percentage is basically the percentage or the probability of success in your plan with the amount of money left over. Now, this student hasn't made any adjustments here. Everything is, based on the current. So I am going to proposed and current. I'm going to make some changes. I'm just going to do this to show you how it works. I'm going to say they're going to go to aggressive. Already started his savings, and so distribution, education, retirement, and okay, so now I'm going to go pre-retirement living expenses. I'm going to make that $8,000, which is a lot more reasonable in my opinion. So I changed that from 1550 to 8,000, and you can see that changed the probability of success to 31% with zero ending balance. So what if I change this to $5,000 and hit refresh? I'm just playing now. That's going to take it to 71%. It drops $1 million off the ending value. So you see how that works? It's like, let's go to 7,000 and hit refresh. $7,000 a month for expenses. Trust me, over time, that's going to make a huge difference in your plan. And that would be much more reasonable, in my opinion, to say that you have, excuse me, $7,000 in expenses per month versus 1,500. That's what I would suggest is more accurate. In this case, you'd have 900 grand left over. So I am going to go back to, well, I'm going to hit reset, see if that all action items will be reset to current plan. So that'll put it back where it was. And I'm going to hit refresh. Nothing should happen. So that's that. Hopefully that answers your question. Where do you find your ending balance? Insurance. Also, I have a question regarding the insurance part. Okay, let me do that. So again, Profile, it's really profile net worth, as we've said all through this semester. This is like one of the main places you'll go. So you've got dashboard, you've got retirement, you've got profile. By now, you should know these are the key places you're going to go. When you go to retirement, that analysis screen, that's kind of where it gives you all these options to make quick changes that are global to your plan. It's also where you can look at cash flows, and you can look at a summary of your cash flows to see all of the places that money is coming into your plan and going out of your plan. And you can drill down on these, and you can get much more information about your plan if you want to do that. If you want to know why you have so much money left over at the end of your plan, you can see that. So that's that. And then maps, that's just a visual of your plan. So this student's done a great job, and hopefully your plan looks similar to this. There's really very few things that need to be tweaked. And I would say, as far as deductions go, very few deductions. I wouldn't be too concerned. If you turned in this capstone, I'd look at it and I'd probably give you a few comments. I might deduct 10 points because you don't have these asset allocations set. You just have that 100% there, and that's not cool. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's So that's that. Where else? Oh, profile. Don't forget expenses. This is where you go to change your expenses. I'm not going to touch that because I don't want to delete what I changed. Insurance. That was the question. Please help insurance. So if you want to add insurance, you click on add account. So say you have a house. You should have done this already. This assignment was a few weeks ago. Add account. First of all, you'd add your property. You have your loan, your mortgage loan. Hopefully you have that. Let me just check to see. So this student does have a mortgage loan. It's a mortgage. That's the type of loan, so that's good. Loan term, interest rate, monthly payment, balance, that's all good. So it's included in the plan, minimum payment, and its primary home is set. So that's all very good. Now let's see if we got the property. So we've got the primary home, right? It's all set up. Boom, annual maintenance, $6,000. That's great. Annual insurance, I would bet that's not near enough. I may be wrong. It does depend on where the house is. I live in Galveston County, and that is not enough for insurance. Property tax, man, this looks good. This looks like this student did some research and did a great job. So everything here looks good. Now the only thing we're missing is insurance. This student has homeowners insurance. And it's 2537. Again, if we go back to the property, if we go back to the primary home, that annual insurance amount for the home is automatically populated when we go to insurance, when we go to home insurance, annual premium. Actually, the annual premium it's populated here from the property card. So you put in, if I change that to $3,000 and hit save, and then I go to property, or insurance rather, homeowners insurance. Oh, look at that. Maybe I'm wrong. That's interesting. I think that's right, because you can't change that. So homeowners insurance, primary home, property, primary home. Did I hit save? Hit save. I'm trying to figure out why that $3,000 isn't showing up in the property. I think if I go out of, net worth, go back into net worth, it will be. Let's see. I'm curious now. So the property, yeah, now it's showing 3,000 on the property. Let's see about the insurance, homeowners insurance. It's still not. That's weird. I don't know why. Default save, link to home, primary home. So yeah, I'm not oh, there we go. I don't know why it took all that clicking to change it, but it did change it. So now it shows annual premium of $3,000 under the under the insurance card, and that's being populated from the property card where we put the property. And then when we go to the loan, the mortgage loan, does insurance show up here? Interest rate 3%, early payoff. So interest or insurance isn't in this data card for the mortgage. So there we go. That is, I think that's it. Let me just go back here. So we added insurance again. If you wanted to add, let's say you wanted to add car insurance, you'd do the same thing. You would go auto, insurance, auto. So in this case, I'm assuming that this student has Tesla auto insurance. He does. He's got an annual premium. He's got the limits for the liability. It's included in the plan. He got a Tesla Model 3. That's awesome. $500 deductible. And again, these assignments were done weeks ago, so you should have all that information in your plan as well. So now I'm going to go back to the dashboard and I'm going to sign off. I think I'm going to sign off because I think I answered all the questions except for this one, because you will be answering this question for me. Where would you go to find an app for a budget? What website? What app would you use? So I hope you'll leave a comment below. Like the video, and I should have said, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope you'll do that. I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep those questions coming. Look, by the way, before I go, one of the things that I ask you to do, if you're going to send me a request for a tutorial, and it's not too late to do that, I can still do another tutorial or two if you need help. However, if you're going to ask for help, if you're going to say, I need help on this, that, or the other thing, I've been sending out emails, and I explained this in the last couple of Zoom meetings. I need you to be very specific in your question. These are pretty specific questions, and I want you to send me some screenshots. Show me what you're looking at in your plan and what you're trying to figure out, and tell me what you've done to try to figure it out. So all of these students, most of them that sent me emails with questions, said they went to GroupMe, they asked a question, they couldn't get it answered. So I want to be very responsive to answer those questions. But the other thing I want you to do when you send me that email is send me some screenshots. Like, for example, this student didn't know where the budgeting stuff was. So, I mean, I would like to know where you're looking, where you're trying to find it. At least I want to know that you've spent a few minutes trying to answer your own question. The insurance, same thing. Show me what you have in your plan, because I want to know what you've done. And if you're just starting off with a question and you don't want to do any kind of research to try to answer your question, don't send me an email. Send me an email with a little bit of background, a little bit of context, and I'll be happy to help. I appreciate you asking. And I appreciate you guys with good questions so that we can do tutorials like this to share with the rest of the audience. So I'm going to end it there, and I'll see you next time.